Hello there gang, welcome back. It's Europa League time. That's right, welcome back to Thames FC. It's the second leg of our game against Wolves. I knew you'd be back for it. Are you enjoying this? I hope you are. If you are enjoying the video series and these videos, do drop a like on them. As we get closer to FM19, there'll be news about that sort of stuff coming up next week. You can see there that Pierre Sommer, former Thames man, is the top goal scorer in this competition. He's actually done very, very well at Standard Liège. I am pleased for him. Mainly because we're doing so well. If we weren't doing so well, I'd be bitter. And you can see there that the other games going around, the second knockout round, second leg, it's so many seconds right now. Leipzig are trailing Wolfsburg. We've got Lille trailing Benfica. Inter are beating Chelsea at the moment. Standard Liège, some of Standard Liège are beating Arsenal as things stand. Ajax lead, as do AC Milan, and Bilbao have the best against Academica. It's interesting. I mean, it's nice to see there's so many different nations in there, or sorry, different teams in there that are very often actually in the Champions League. But it's cool to see so many teams in the Europa League on this occasion. There's some big ties left in this competition. But the job has to be done first. An away goal against Wolves should all but seal it, so that's ready to the team. So we're going with what is becoming a very familiar 11, although Banner has to come in to replace Jimenez, who's picked up a little bit of an injury. Will be out for a week or so we'll miss both games today. Actually, no, he'll be back because we're playing Newcastle in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup later on. Ortiz then will be in goal. Antonio, who scored last episode, if you remember correctly. Ericsson, Insigne and Diallo at the back. Banner and Hallam in the centre, with Herzog just behind Ben-Hur. Obranic is still operating on that left-hand side with Miquelino on the right, but if I get the opportunity to, we may well look to bring in Manuel Mackay for the next game if he's back raring to go. Let's hope he is. All right, standard flexible it is as we start, and we'll change it as the game goes on. All right, Wolves are playing an identical formation to us, much as they did last game, so it'll be interesting to see. The big thing for me is getting a goal. I'm tempted to start attacking, actually, and go for them at this very start. I think they might want to start off a little bit calm, try and calm things down a little bit. If we get a goal early, that means they've got to score 5, and I think that's what we should probably aim for. This situation is very similar to when Manchester City and Liverpool played each other in the Champions League last season. It's a very similar situation to that. If we score, they've got one might of a job to do. One might of a job to do? I was going to say mighty of a job, but I don't think that's a phrase as Wolves come forward. Are they going to do what City did? That's exactly what happened when Liverpool played City. There's a goal already for Wolves. I'm getting confused about my words. We're getting confused about how to defend. We could have probably sat back and played this a little more patient, but again, scoring the goal is so important. I mean, do we go on the counter-attack? Wolves are going to have to push. I've put us back onto the counter. Wolves are going to have to push forwards. It's the thing I mentioned recently, that you don't want to allow them too much time on the ball. But actually, if they're committing players forward, trying to get the goal, hopefully openings like this will appear for us. As Diallo on this left-hand side finds Obranic, whose ball back's got to be good. He finds Miquelino, and 12 minutes in, that actually might all but confirm our victory in this Europa League tie. Let's hope so, at least, and then hopefully carry this on in our league and cup games coming up. But that, my friends, might just do it. Lovely stuff. Considering Obranic is not a natural left-sided player at all, that delivery on his left foot is magnificent. Miquelino can't miss, and the away fans go wild. Oh, perfect. The perfect start. Just what we wanted. As much as Wolves scored, and that was disappointing, I always felt like we'd get one. And for it to happen this early, it takes a lot of the pressure off too. And now, for the rest of the game, you can sit on the counter. They've got to try and come forward. They're in trouble. It's almost like both teams know what's just happened, and the rest of the half has been dead quiet. Nothing has happened really at all. 46 minutes that half was, and we saw, what, 2 highlights, both goals? All right, I'm going to say I'm very happy the way things are going. I'm going to say, well, actually, no, like, but you weren't that bad, but I believe I've got faith in you to improve, etc., etc. It was like that. I got the sentence the wrong way around. That happens sometimes, okay? Corner, Obranic plays it in. We're there, are we? Not quite. Herzog's going to pick it up. Now, Obranic looks like the most obvious ball, but no, we go backwards. And now Miquelino presents himself on this side. The delivery's got to be good, and it is, but it's cleared. And Wolves need it. Like, if we look at it from a Wolves perspective, they've got to score right now, and then they've got to score again in 10 minutes. I love him there. You don't see that very often in highlights, but to see him track back and win it back, one of the most understated players in this save, and we might even score from it in the end. Ben-Hur, well, he's not interested in scoring. He's just interested in wasting time, and I respect that. Do you know what? I'm going to do something I never do. I'm going to go defensive. I'm going to waste as much time as possible and be really annoying. Retain possession, slower tempo, just keep it. I'm even going to bring Dorfer on. That's how much I'm calming. Ben-Hur's not in the best game either, so Furia's going to come on. He's been in goals recently. Look at some of the other results. Arsenal have turned it round big time. They've now got 5 against Standard Liège, and yeah, they've struggled. Now 6. I mean, they keep scoring. Chelsea looks to be going out, though. Inter, I've put them to the sword, and elsewhere, there's a few bits going on, obviously. This has been a highlight free. It's so strange. Well, a draw is good enough for me as the time ticks away. A very quick game. There's been more going on in the other games in this one. 17 shots from us in it, but barely any chances. Very bizarre. I didn't cut loads out or anything. It just genuinely was nothing. All right, well, I'm pleased. Hopefully this sets us up nicely for the next game. Now, Sheffield Wednesday is in the middle of this, so of course I'll let you know what happens within that. Maybe even show you the goals as they happen. But Newcastle, that's the big focus. But that game was so short, I might as well. And also, in all of this, we may well get the draw for the next round. I don't know when it is. It might be this Friday. Okay, the quarter-final draw. I did suspect it'll be this Friday, and it is. Bilbao, Anderlecht, Inter Milan, Thames FC, AC Milan, Arsenal, Benfica, and Wolfsburg. I don't necessarily think there's a good team to get, but we'll see. Anderlecht will play. Hello. I got the pause. I knew it was me. So Anderlecht in Belgium. I guess if there's one side that, as 2018 would suggest, is one of the easier ones, then it's probably Anderlecht. Their best player, though, is not that bad, but he has got a broken ankle and won't be featuring in the games. After that, they've Verbeek, who have looked tasty, we've got him scouted. We considered signing him at one point. He's actually very capable. I suspect that they're not too bad. The rest of the draw then sees Inter and AC avoid each other and play Wolfsburg and Benfica, respectively, and then Arsenal play Bilbao. Interesting. All right, on to Sheffield Wednesday, and then on to Newcastle. We're 1-0 down. Great. I mean, we just don't defend it, which is weird. Are we accidentally playing with a libero here? Do not fear, though. The man of the moment is here. Orenek gets another goal. He's been a fine goal scorer before. It doesn't matter where you play him. I think that's what I like about him. Whether you play him on the left or the right or through the middle, he always scores goals. And there's another one for him. 1-1 just before half-time. Ben-Hur's been booked. For what? He doesn't get booked. All right, half the team are motivated. Half of them are stressed. It's a screamer. They've scored a bloody scream. I mean, look at the state of this. Lucas from 20 yards just pops it in the bottom corner. We need to look at the table. All right, Ben-Hur off, Fury on. Saved by an own goal. 15 minutes to go. We've got this unbeaten run you might be familiar with that we're trying to hold on to. And it's, I mean, Sheffield Wednesday are pushing it close. You can see here, Ferreira drills one in, just cannons off Nicholas. Oh, that is poor. Nicholson there. Oh, dearie me. There's 4 minutes left, and if you look at the league table there, we need to win it. We're a point behind West Ham as things stand. We need to score if we can. It's not happening, though. Again, 28 shots in this game, and it's 2-2. 28 shots. They're just not high enough quality, obviously. We're not getting ourselves enough good opportunities. It's hard to complain about it when it's clearly a fault of the way that we're playing. 13 long shots. So let's just say 15 shots then, shall we? Because the long shots of this game are random. All right, not good enough, but on to Newcastle. All right, semi-final draw. If we have to get past Newcastle, we will face, we'll just do it all at once, West Ham or Bournemouth. I so would prefer Bournemouth. Okay, then Newcastle next up, and this is quite interesting. We've beaten them 6 times. They've beaten us 6 times. So a very even record. 1 draw between us, but we are favourites of the game. And the reason for that is probably obvious, that they're a championship side. 5th in the championship. The table, I've actually not looked at. How are they getting on then? So they're 5th. Everton top of the table after getting relegated last year. It's just a bit weird to see. Watford, Middlesbrough, Leicester, Newcastle, QPR, and then Crystal Palace. Blimey, down in 23rd. They were in the Prem not that long ago. And Oxford, who we beat earlier in the competition. All right, we are going to mix things up just a touch in this game. Keep a few players fresh. Rowney and Murphy are going to come on and play either side of Herzog. Banner's going to play alongside Haludum. The back 5 is going to remain as it always is. And Ben-Hur needs to start getting on some goal-scoring form again before we hit this crunch time in the Premier League season. But let's hopefully win this then and sail through to the semi-finals. Okay, we're in the blue, they're in the black, and this is quite an interesting game. They're obviously a high-flying side in the Championship. We're a high-flying side in the Premier League. They've clearly got players that could cause us some damage. I mean, on paper, though, 4-0, 5-0, what are we thinking? Oscar Rowney is going on a mad one. When we play lesser sides, Oscar Rowney just turns into this absolute machine. It's so weird. As Herzog finds him, back to Hudham, back to Banner, and working this pretty neatly. Ben-Hur gives it away, though. His link-up play, he's off the boil a little bit. You've got to say it. He'll probably score a hat-trick now, I've said all this. But Herzog plays it back to Diallo. Where are we going to work this to? Rowney inside to Banner again. Herzog, Ben-Hur looks for Murphy on that side. Antonio. We've got them pinned in here, but are we going to create a clear opportunity for ourselves? That's the big question. Murphy down a little bit of space. That's all he really needs to get the ball in. He does, and oh my word. Murphy's been given the goal. He's been given the... I mean, the keeper's obviously said you can have that. I don't want it. I mean, he's out on this right-hand side. It's all about what happens to the keeper in orange, though. Oh my... Is it a Steward? Is it the goalkeeper? Gee whiz. Corner to Newcastle. There's no... Okay, no. corner to Newcastle. That will never result in a goal. Free kick, though. That might. Oh, no. Oh, no. Agbo gets it. Doug Holton. Hot in. Maybe that's how it said. I'm not sure. He assisted it with a free kick. And is it the guy at the back post? I mean, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, really? Pub side stuff as they equalise on 10 minutes. Corner to Newcastle. This can't have it. Oh, no. It's fine. You'll notice as well, Calvo's back in after his broken finger situation. Drizzle, 11 degrees, or as we call it, the United Kingdom. And Signey, Murphy again. I mean, we are the luckiest team in all of football. That one's given us an own goal, which is strange because that was probably on target, that one. I mean, it's popped in by Herzog and then it sort of floats about a little bit. Murphy slams it. It comes off about 3 players. It hits Banner. I think he's the last Thames player to touch it, but no. Regardless of that, 2-1, sorry, as we approach half-time. Another free kick. I thought that was going to be the highlights done for the half, but not quite, as the counter-attack might well be on here. Rowney, if he switches it early, he does. Murphy now has got the pace to race to this byline and pull back across. Can he do it? He looks to be trying to, as G at the front post makes a bit of a hash of it. Ben-Hur can't finish it either, and it's going to remain 2-1 as we go to half-time, I think. So, half-time, pretty convincing half from us, although we have conceded that 1 goal just because we didn't bother to mark anyone. Don't get complacent out there. They like that. I thought that was a good thing to say. Rowney to Hulladum, edge of the box. He's gone for that, and I respect it. All right, the game is nearly over. I would love to say we've made changes and loads of highlights, but the time just ebbed away really, really quickly, and Ben-Hur, of course he does, makes it 3-1, and an FA Cup semi-final on the horizon. This run we're on is unbelievable. We've not lost in ages. I don't know if you can see it there at the top. I'll show you in a minute, but there's literally no highlights this second half. I think there was one foul that happened, and that was about it. As the ball put across, Ben-Hur, that's what you expect him to do. We've not even made a change in this game, which might be a bit of a risk, but you can see there, since the second half, not a single highlight, or a couple of like nibbly highlights here and there, and then the goal. Nothing's really happened. But 3-1 looks as if we're going to be winners in this one, and deserved too. But this feels like it was a shorter episode than normal. And we had 3 games that we kind of covered in it. But that is going to bring us to the end today then. There's more progression going on in the save. And let's see then what we're going to do next time. Actually, I think I already know. Okay, interesting situation on the horizon. So, 2 days left this week. Thursday then, tomorrow will be Manchester City and Southampton. 2 teams that are vying for these top places. You can see City currently top it. Southampton just behind us. We didn't do well against them last time. We touched on it before. And then next episode, Anderlecht. We'll do both Anderlecht games back to back. And then hopefully the 4 Premier League games, as well as maybe, hopefully, some more Europa League stuff as well. But join me for it tomorrow, won't you? Manchester City and Southampton, the biggest league games of our Thames career. And I cocked it up. That was good, wasn't it? If you enjoyed today's video, do drop a like. Want to see some more, subscribe to the channel. I'm in love with care. If you need to mention, until next time, I'll see you for more. This is getting exciting.